Alright guys, and gals, I always start with that. We're going to talk about perpendicular lines. A little bit different of a process than parallel lines. It's a little bit more involved, I guess. First of all, we need to talk about the slope of these lines. Okay? If you remember back in another video, parallel lines have the same slope. Well, obviously, perpendicular lines don't. Okay? Here's a set of parallel lines. Not the best drawing, but it is what it is. Perpendicular lines, they have to have different slopes so that they can intersect and be perpendicular to each other. I guess I can finish this out. The slope of perpendicular lines, there's a little trick to it, and I'll go over that right now. Let's have a line with a slope of 2, and I'm just going to make this up. Well, obviously the slope, since you remember slope-intercept form, it's the number in front of x, okay? So 2 would be my slope. Now, what I'm going to have you do is, now that we're focusing on perpendicular lines, slope is also, and you should remember this, rise over run. Okay? Now the problem with this slope is, it's just a whole number. 2. If it does not have a run, you gotta put a 1. Not one there, put one there. So genius. So genius. Okay? Now, if I had a slope, let's just look at a line here. Let's say I have y equals negative 1/3 x minus 2. Okay? My slope is obviously negative. Okay? It already has a run. Remember, rise over run. Okay? Now let's see if you can tell me what this is. Tell me the slope. What would it be? You're probably already saying it. I hear you. Yes, it is actually 3/4. Now, do I need to use that rule? Not one there, put one there. No run, put a 1. No. Okay? It's already in fraction form. Alright? So, let's take a look at a line. And what I'm going to do is demonstrate how to write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to this line and passes through the point, let's say 3, -2. Alright? And what I like to do, label x1, y1. And let's go ahead and identify the slope. Now, this is one of those cases, there's not a run, you put a 1. I need a perpendicular slope. Now, this is going to be a twist here. Okay? If you look back at the drawing that I had of these perpendicular lines right here, that I now put in black, one of the lines has a negative slope, the other line has a positive slope. So what could you assume would happen if I'm trying to find a line perpendicular to a given slope? Okay, or with a perpendicular slope, I need to change the sign. Okay, so back here, if I want a perpendicular slope, upside down T with an M, perpendicular slope, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the sign. Now this is a positive slope that I'm given. Okay, I'm going to change that to a negative. Now something else has to happen. I must flip the fraction. So 3 over 1, I'm going to flip. That's going to be 1/3. Okay? Now, use my point slope formula that you already have, right? Or should have watched. And I'm going to plug and chug everything that I need. I already have my x1 and y1. Now I have my perpendicular slope. Let's go ahead and do that. Plug and chug. Y minus. My y1 is -2. Something special is going to happen there. Plug in my perpendicular slope here. -1/3 times x minus my x1 is 3. Now, guys, right over here, let's go over here first in the yellow. Minus a negative. Go ahead and change that to positive. If you got a minus and negative, just put a plus sign there. So it's basically y plus 2. Now over here, same thing. I'm just going to distribute -1/3 times x, -1/3 x. -1/3 times -3 is +1. Now I can solve for y. -2, combine like terms, cancel out. Y equals -1/3 x. +1 minus 2 is -1. Hence, there is my perpendicular line. This line would be perpendicular to the line that was given. Now, what you'll notice is the y-intercepts, will they always be different? Maybe not. Depends on what point they want it to pass through. But the main thing is this slope and this slope need to be opposite signs and a flipped fraction. Now, they call that opposite reciprocal. Okay, if you reciprocate, I can't spell reciprocal. If you reciprocate a fraction, you're just flipping it. Okay, 3 over 1 is 1/3. Opposite sign, flip the sign. Just change the sign. If it's positive, it's negative. If it's negative, it's positive. All right? Well, guys, hopefully this helps, and I will see you later.